In this video here today, I'm going to pour it all out there and share with you the biggest mistakes that I've made in my trading career over the past 15 plus years and how you can learn from me and hopefully not repeat these same mistakes, because I'm sure a lot of you have experienced the same exact thing. I've had multiple payouts from prop firms. I've had success in trading, but I still make mistakes even today. And I'm going to share with you all of those pitfalls over the years so that hopefully you don't make these same mistakes. But before I get into it, quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and nothing I say here is to be considered financial advice. Trading is risky. Most people who get into it, they lose their money, if not all of it. And I don't make any promises or guarantees of anything whatsoever. Everything I'm sharing here is simply for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before I get into it, I do have a free Telegram channel. The link's in the description down here below. You can hop in that channel. You can watch my morning analysis. I do it periodically throughout the week, and you can follow my journey and my progress there. All right, so these are in no particular order. I'm going to share with you some very important things that I learned throughout my trading career. And again, these are all my personal experiences. The very first thing I'm going to talk about is, of course, trading emotions. And a lot of you watching this video may refer to this as going on full tilt. We've all done it, right? We've all gone completely full tilt on it, whether it be in these prop firm challenges or on a personal account, these evaluations, or even in a sim funded account. You lose a trade, or where I lose a trade, I get angry, I try to make it back, or I wasn't following my system, and then I look back and I say, you know what, I should have been in this trade, it should have profited, but I was too scared, I was too afraid, or I didn't follow my rules, and then it won, and then I end up going back and trying to force trades to make that money back. And you know what? Then I end up taking more trades, and it just continues to snowball. All right. This in trading will absolutely hurt. It stings, and it affects a lot of us. The best thing for me is that when I don't follow my system, my rules, and I find myself going tilt, is to just simply walk away. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be going to the kitchen to get lunch. It could be going for a quick 20-minute walk. It could be going to help my wife with something. It could be going to see what the kids are doing. It could just be simply walking out in the backyard to get some fresh air. It doesn't really matter, but I found that removing myself from that situation, when I find myself going on tilt and I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, the best thing for me has been to step away, because then when I return, I have a clear mind and I'm ready for the next trade, or I'm ready for the next setup. The second thing here I'm going to talk about is rushing things. All right. In the past and throughout my trading career, I wanted everything now. I wanted it to happen quickly. I didn't have time. I'm older. I'm not a young guy anymore. And a lot of times I feel like it has to happen now. All right. I'm running out of time. I'm in my late 40s. I'm not some young 20-year-old who has a lot of time in front of me. All right. It has to be now or never. And that is the absolute wrong mentality to take into trading. And that is another thing that has affected me in the past, is when I try to rush my trades. All right. It requires extreme discipline and fortitude to sit there and wait for a setup. And if it just doesn't happen that day, then so be it. It just doesn't happen. And that is something that I've learned to do over the course of many years in my trading, is to simply just wait for my setup. And it doesn't always happen every day. And I have to be able to accept that and understand that it's okay if there are no trades today, because there's always tomorrow. It's better to conserve capital today so that you can live to trade another day. And I tell myself this over and over again. This leads me to my third point, and that is just accepting the outcome. Now, that doesn't mean for me that I'm looking at a trade and I'm waiting, I'm watching the price bounce up and down, and I'm getting excited or I'm getting upset, and I'm saying, oh, I hope this trade works out. I'm following my system and everything is going perfectly. It doesn't work that way. I have to be able to accept the out before I even click that mouse button to enter the trade. Or long before even that, while I'm looking at my morning analysis and I'm looking at what I might end up doing today, I have to be able to accept the outcome, win or lose, and just instill that in my brain and say, look, if I lose this trade, I'm okay. If I win this trade, I'm okay. Because if I can't accept the outcome in the trade, win or lose, then that's going to lead me into doing things I shouldn't be doing in my trading, like revenge trading or over trading, whatever the case may be. It's extremely important for me to just accept the outcome long before I even enter any trade. That's something that I've learned over the many years in my trading career. Another thing I wanted to quickly get into is social media and watching everybody else on YouTube, whatever your favorite platform may be. Watching other people trade is fantastic. You watch how they learn to trade. You take little bits and pieces from what they're doing and apply it to your system. But everybody's on their own journey. And in the past, I would compare myself to others, and I really can't do that because some people move extremely fast in trading and they have success much faster than I do. I've moved at a much slower pace throughout my trading because I had a lot of things to overcome on the emotional side, but comparing myself to others had a negative impact on me because I would look at someone who gets an evaluation, and then in a month and a half later in these prop firms, they're getting, these large payouts, and here I am still failing evaluations, or I would pass an evaluation, I would get funded, and then I would fail to sim fund it, and I'd start this process all over again. It was extremely important for me to understand that I was on my own journey and moving at my own pace, and that comparing myself to others was not something that was helping my trading. It was actually hurting me and having a negative impact. Now, I'm not saying don't go out there and watch other videos. For me, I just had to really accept that my journey was unique and I'm going to move at my own pace regardless of what else is going on around me and what other videos I end up watching. The fifth thing here I want to talk about is trading with a gambling mindset, or again, that place from need. I had a conversation with my wife the other day, and she really said, you just have to tell yourself that you cannot afford to go into these evaluations and just trade with a gambling mentality. You can't afford to go full tilt. You can't afford to just take evaluation after evaluation and continuously lose, because the challenge there is there's such a low barrier to entry, and some of the evaluations are so cheap, it's easy to get into this mindset of just churn and burn, and doing these evaluations, trying to pass them to get sim funding because they're so cheap. But eventually that adds up, and I really need to control myself and focus on just a few accounts at a time rather than trying to go for these 10 and 15 sim funded accounts at once because everybody else was doing it. And then I had to tell myself over and over, I cannot afford to go into this gambling mentality in trading. I had to follow my system, leave the emotions out of it as much as possible, avoid going full tilt, and just focus on my own journey and focus on accepting the outcome no matter what. So that's something I still do today. I just say, look, if my setup's not there, I can't afford to mess up. I need to stick to my plan. And the last thing I want to talk about here is time, because this one stings the most for me. All right. It's not about all of the challenge evaluation fees I paid, or how many accounts I've blown, or how much money I spent over the years trying to become successful in trading. It's really about the time that has passed and lost, because, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm probably older than a lot of people watching this video here. And I will tell you that it doesn't look like it, but that time will come. The month will pass by. 2 months will go by. A year will go by. 2 years. And you will look back and you will say, that felt like it was just a week or two or maybe a month, and it's already been a year. So when I'm trading, I'm looking at this and saying, oh, look, I'm starting this evaluation. I'm trying to get prop firm sim funding. It might take me 2 months. All right. And that's okay, because that 2 months will go by what feels like a matter of a couple days or a week, but it will come. It will eventually come. And then when that time comes, I will be thankful that I followed my plan, that I was patient, and then I waited, and then I didn't go in full tilt. Or if I felt myself getting emotional, I stepped away, because that time will eventually come. And it hurts when you get there and I'm, for example, 3 months out, 6 months out, and I look back and I say, if I just followed my plan, here's where I would be right now today. So I have to look at that as everything starts today, and that time will eventually pass and come. I'll eventually be at that 6 month mark, at that 9 month mark, and at that 1 year mark. And if I follow my plan, then everything should work out. So I want to thank you again for watching this video. Please remember to go ahead and like and subscribe, and do join my free Telegram channel. The link is in the description below. In that Telegram channel, I go over my morning analysis most days. You can check it out. You can follow my progress there. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Before we get into it, I do have a free Telegram channel. Link is in the description below. You can go ahead and join that channel. You can take a look at my morning analysis. I share that periodically throughout the week. I share my progress there, as well as how I'm doing in the prop firms and how I'm getting on with trading here. All right, so now let's get into it.